We welcome you, ma'am. Uh, I am what my mother has crafted me in the last 30 years, impregnating some of the very astounding values and ethos and formulating my initial worldview. I would be probably what my wife would be chiseling me for the rest of my life. Interestingly, she only dressed me for this occasion and forced me in fact to wear this tie which I generally desist, and gave some of her last minute tips that how should you present in front of a all women audience. In fact, she has been the inspiration behind this entire event. We had been celebrating and commemorating it in our own private way. She said, why not you commemorate some of the finest women engineers and scientists across the country. So women are our inspirations in all our fields. We men are what our women have chosen us to be and continuously keep on guiding us on that. Our mothers, our sisters, our wives and our daughters. These have probably been the four hallmarks of the outlet of feminine love and affection and care in the conventional Indian society. A grand, sensitive societal edifice has got erected around these non-compromising, firm principles of men and women relationships. Unfortunately, the contagion of consumerism coming in the space of neoliberalism is somewhere rupturing these sacred bonds. There is an invasion of these sacred ties. The events in the recent past have been really alarming. This is probably not the sociological platform to discuss all the more. But in the light of the whole I Aspire campaign which we intend to initiate right away, we feel in our personal opinion that the invasion of the sacred bonds across the spectrum has grown to be one of the retarders of the ascendance of women on all four fronts. What started as a celebration of respect and appreciation and love towards women, the International Women's Day, originally which was International Working Women's Day, has grown to be a celebration of women's economic, political and social achievements. Today in this August hall, we have all assembled here to celebrate the accomplishments of India's most inspiring women engineers and scientists, along with that of a significant section of women edu leaders and edupreneurs who have given immaculate contribution in the field of engineering education. Before we move on to felicitate these inspirational women, we would like to cite an interesting facet, an alarming one indeed, about our academic as well as R&D institutions. At Engineering Watch, we have been carrying out a lot of analysis and research for the last 4 years. And to our utter agony and astonishment, we find women at the helm of affairs either by chance or either by as an exception or either by accident. Be it the Indian Institutes of Technology, be it the National Institutes of Technology, be it the other premier institutions, we hardly find a women director leading and guiding the institution at large. Out of the whole lot of private universities which have come over in the last 10 to 15 years, there is some ray of hope somewhere. The deemed to be universities have the same spectrum. The 550 odd state universities are all male bastions. There are, however, certain exceptions. We have with us on our dais some of the leading edu leaders. We have Professor Nupur Prakash, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Indira Gandhi Technical University for Women, who has broken the glass ceiling and come up to the topmost position. We have with us Mrs. Grace Pinto, inspiring edupreneur, having been founded 120 schools across the globe. And we have also Dr. Madhu Chitkara, who founded the Chitkara University and is leading the light in the space of engineering education across.